I went to buy some camo pants, but couldn't find any. Tubby. Welcome back, my creative cosmonauts. 'Tis I, your shepherd of shows, your guru of games, your master of movies, your mo capitan of cosplay. Are you ready? I'm ready. Apúrate! Before we get started, hit the like button, share this on your favorite episode to help the show, and hit that notification button. All right, mermaids. Under the seat, baby is better than where it's wetter. Oops, sorry. Anyways, mermaids have been a popular subject of art and literature in recent centuries. Like in Hans Christian Andersen's literally fairy tales of The Little Mermaid in 1836. They have been depicted in operas, paintings, books, comics, animation, and live action, like Splash, the Pirates of the Caribbean movie with the Blackbeard guy, or that one cool TV show called SIREN that had like 2 seasons and then, never finished, and The Little Mermaid, the ink version or the skin and bone version, whichever fancy your pickle. Tell me down below which one you like. The Western concept of mermaids are beautiful, seductive sirens that were influenced by sirens of the Greek mythology, which were originally half bird-like, but became pictured as half fish-like in the Christian era. Historical accounts of mermaids have been reported by others, and some guy named Christopher Columbus during an exploration of the Caribbean. But who knows what that asshat ever saw? I mean, he's always claiming shit. While there are no evidence that mermaids exist,
That's who.
reports of merfolk sightings continues to the present day. And I just so happen to know one. Don't worry, I cashed her and released her. Don't worry about it. But before we get into that, it is time for Hit It!
Hey there, cosmonauts. This is Props to History.
Did you know that in the 1987 film Spaceballs, during the famous merchandising scene,
Spaceballs the lunchbox!
was actually a lunchbox for the toy line Transformers, with just a sticker added onto it. Here's the original label and the relabeled version of it. In fact, several items are just relabeled pre-existing objects. Spaceballs the flamethrower is a modified weed burner. Props to history.
Okay, check out this interview I had with a mermaid on a beautiful day next to a pool.
In Ghostbusters, which camp did Ray Stantz used to roast marshmallows as a child? A. Camp Anawana. B. Camp Crystal Lake. C. Camp Wakanda. D. Camp Krusty. Stay tuned after the interview for the answer.
What's up, Marlayna?
What's up, Cosmo?
How you been?
I've been, swimming about.
Swimming about.
Swimming about.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I was actually born in New Jersey,
Hey.
and then I was raised in Puerto Rico. From my backyard, I could see the rainforest and the beach. Growing up there was a very magical and at times challenging for lots of socio-political reasons.
Yeah.
Experience. After I graduated or left college, I moved to Miami, thinking that Miami was gonna be like Puerto Rico.
Welcome to Miami.
I was wrong. I was so wrong. I lived in Miami for about 5 years, and then I moved to California. Yeah, I'm a Cali girl now.
So tell me about this. How did you get into this? Why? How?
During the pandemic, remember that? When we were in lockdown and we were all quarantined, I was scrolling on Instagram and I all of a sudden came on a video of a mermaid swimming in like the most magical looking place. It turned out to be the Florida Springs.
Ooh.
I've never seen it in person. And so I went on a deep dive, if you will. I wanted to consume everything mermaid related. I went on YouTube, I looked up all of the creators and how to become a mermaid and like what's this process. And I remember going to my partner and being like, I want to be a mermaid, we need to move somewhere with a swimming pool. And he was like, okay, and then we did. And I bought, my first monofin was a Mermaid Linden monofin, and I just started practicing and swimming laps in it and trying out different things.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, it's good exercise, but there's something very calming about it and very relaxing about it. I'm neurodivergent, so I'm autistic and ADHD, and I realized that underwater, there's no sound. And the only stimulation you're experiencing is the water around you. Kind of like a form of sensory deprivation in a way, which I enjoy. So when we all got that stimulus money,
Oh yeah,
remember that?
I remember
So
that.
I used that money to get my mermaid certification. The first mermaid I ever saw, Vero Beach Mermaid, I actually flew to Florida and I went to her mermaid freedive training camp. So you train in freediving and as well as mermaiding because they really do go hand in hand. It was the most incredible experience I've ever had in my life. I swam in the same place where I saw that first video of her.
That's awesome.
And it was this great full circle moment for me of like becoming this thing that I had dreamed about. A lot of times when I put my tail on, I just sit and look at myself in it, in the water. Like I sit it like partway in the water and I just like look at it. I think what drew me to mermaiding, and I think what draws a lot of people to mermaiding, is that it's an opportunity to be something greater than what you perceive yourself as.
Like cosplay.
Like cosplay.
Yeah.
It's you know, same dog, different color, I like to say. I may not be intimidating on land, but I'm intimidating in the water. I like to
No, I think you're intimidating on land. When I first met you a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away, I'm like, okay, she's definitely something of the fae type, or in that realm.
Well, merfolk are family with fae as well. Part of the journey for me was also recognizing like I'm part of the merfolk community, but then it was also recognizing, oh wait, I'm not a mermaid, I'm a siren. There's a difference. When I realized I was a siren was actually in the water, which is appropriate, I feel something that I don't think people that are mermaids feel, and that's when I see like legs in the water, I feel this urge to like wanna like attack. I do. I can't even begin to describe to you what it feels like. Yeah.
It's a natural instinct.
I think, you know,
It's a predatorial instinct.
you know, like some people were hunters and some people were gatherers,
Yeah.
and I think my inner cave person is a hunter. When I was under the water and I was swimming up to one of my friends and they saw me coming and they got scared. I don't know why they got scared. I wasn't gonna like do anything, but as soon as they turned and started paddling away, I was like, dunna, 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 dunna. I literally heard the music in my head,
Yes.
and I felt a smile come on my face. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get you now, you know?
So now you took the training,
I did.
and now you're like 100% certified.
I am certified, yes. Something that I had to be able to do is I had to be able to tread water for 2 minutes. I have to be able to float in my tail for 2 minutes. I had to be able to swim 80 meters and back. And then I think the required breath hold is at least a minute static breath hold. My personal best was 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Ooh.
Is my
So
personal record breath hold time.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get a card and everything. I have a card, and it says, you know, Patty Mermaid on it. It's the Professional Association of Diving Instructors. You have to be able to take your tail off and put it back on in water that you cannot stand in, which was the most challenging thing I had to do of the whole thing.
Like depths.
You're in water that you can't touch the ground, and you have to be able to completely take your tail off and put it back on. Let's say that you're swimming at depth, right? And your tail gets caught on something while you're underwater. You have to be able to take that tail off under the water without panicking and drowning.
What type of tails? Because like, I'm looking at your tail, it looks like fabric.
Yeah, so this is a fabric tail from Mertailor. It's like basically like a really high quality scuba knit material. The skin, we call it the skin, is fabric. The fluke itself that's underneath is the monofin, is made of silicone, which is neutrally buoyant. So it's, for me, I find it much easier to swim in. There are full silicone tails, and those typically start at $2,000 for just like a basic one color tail with a simple fluke, and they can go up to $5,000 with the most expensive silicone tail ever made was $10,000, and it was for someone's wedding. You have to basically like lubricate.
Water-based?
Exactly how it sounds.
Water-based?
Water-based. I personally recommend coconut oil because I have a history as a sex educator. So if you're in open water, you can definitely do coconut oil, and that'll actually be more comfortable. But a lot of people do water-based. You can't do silicone lubricant on a silicone item because it will cause it to break down. This tail altogether costs close to $1,000. Once you have the monofin, then you just can keep buying different skins for it, and that's less expensive. So the initial investment is always the most. But if you're a beginner and you're just getting started and you're not sure if you're even gonna like it, you can go to like FinFun is a really great company that makes, you know, quality tails and monofins. You can get like a whole set for $100.
Nice.
Just like something basic and simple to start with.
Well, let's ask the cosmonauts, you know, if you guys want to see me in a tail, I have my own tail. Maybe I should do like a little fundraiser or whatnot. Cosmo, in the ocean, go through this training. Because like, I will do it if I put up some like...
GoFundMe?
GoFundMe, there you go. So how heavy is this sucker?
I mean, you can try to pick it up if you want it.
May I?
Yes, you may.
Always ask for consent.
Consent. It's sexy and mandatory.
Oh my. Woo!
Yeah, so that's like a solid 40 pounds.
40 pounds.
Yeah, it's like 30, 40 pounds of just fluke. That's not the weight of the skin itself, which is like almost nothing. But remember, in the water, neutrally buoyant. So it's just you're moving with the water, and you're allowing the movement of the tail to propel you forward. So you're not kicking against it, you're kicking with it. It's a really beautiful sensation to get to experience, especially when it's like you have this aha moment of connecting with yourself in this new way. It's very profound.
It's kind of like riding a bike or
like
even
riding a horse
or
for the first
surfing
time.
or horsing, yeah.
Yeah.
Riding a horse, surfing, or snowboarding.
You know, there's always something to learn about yourself, from learning that I'm not a mermaid, that I'm a siren, learning that I can hold my breath for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I didn't know I could do that.
Wow.
The human body is so amazing, the things that it's capable of, and especially when I learned about like the mammalian dive response, which is when your face is underwater and your body recognizes like, oh, we're underwater now. So we're going to redirect blood flow to the core of the body, and we're going to slow down our heartbeat, and we're going to do all of these things to compensate for the fact that we're holding our breath. And science, biology, is wild. And then I think one of the other really amazing experiences for me was hearing my own heartbeat underwater. So once you get to a certain point, you have to get past, I want to say it's at least like the 1.5 minute, 2 minute mark of holding your breath. You can hear your own heartbeat. And it sounds like if you've ever heard like an ultrasound, like when somebody hears like a baby's heartbeat, it's very kind of similar sound, but it's slower because you're holding your breath and you're swimming slowly, and you just hear boom, 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 with this like whooshing through the water, and it's like you just connect with this other part of yourself. It's very primal and it's euphoric. It's very healing. And my opinion of myself definitely grew. When you do 2 minutes and 30 seconds of holding your breath, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a flex, and you're gonna hear me say it a lot, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm just saying it a lot.
That's dope.
It is.
So where can we find you if you're doing something cool and awesome?
I do so many things, and one of those things is burlesque.
Ooh.
Yes. And so I have my own show that I host and produce and occasionally perform in called Cirque de la SIREN, the SIREN being me, of course. And it's a great variety show. It's also one of the only specifically all POC burlesque shows in Los Angeles. I've been doing burlesque for over a decade.
Nice.
And yes, I've been in 2 different burlesque troupes. I've opened for the Suicide Girls. I knew immediately that when I started the show, I wanted to showcase exclusively people of color and people of the LGBT community, different body types, all sizes, all shapes, etc.
So where is this being held?
So my Cirque de la SIREN, the next one, it should be November 4th. So it's technically for me, that is still spooky season, fight me, okay? So it's gonna be our spooky themed show. I already have Egypt Black Nile booked. She is a living legend. She holds the Guinness World Records for most competitive burlesque title wins of any burlesque performer in the history of burlesque.
Nice.
She is like a living legend. She's like, oh my, I can't even compare her to anybody because she's just so amazing.
Where's it at?
It's at the North End in Hollywood. It is a lovely queer femme owned and operated business. Once again, providing a platform to showcase, you know, QT, bi, POC, all the letter talent.
I wonder if the Cosmoe Show can get into that.
I'll put you on my guest list.
Yeah? Sweet.
Deal.
So this is November 4th?
November 4th, Saturday, and it'll start at 10:30. Doors open.
Another episode for the Cosmoe Show.
In Ghostbusters, which camp did Ray Stantz used to roast marshmallows as a child? A. Camp Anawanna, B. Camp Crystal Lake, C. Camp Wakanda, or D. Camp Krusty? And the answer is C. Camp Wakanda.
Nice thinking, Ray. We used to roast Stay Puft marshmallows by the fire at Camp Wakanda. Ray has gone bye-bye, Egon. What have you got left?
Sorry, Beckman. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Please show our beautiful mermaid, Marlayna, some love and follow them on all the socials. All of them. Head over to our Patreon where you can get early access to new episodes by becoming a Cosmonaut Patreon member. New stuff is coming, so you don't want to miss out on exclusive stuff. Catch your favorite episodes on Spotify in case you can't watch but like to listen. Mom, is that you? What are you doing to Dad? You can also help by using the promo code COSMOE to get 10% off of your purchase at w.gg and get an amazing energy supplement for your everyday multitasking cosplay crazy life. All proceeds goes to the Cosmoe Show so I can take you to amazing places and meet extraordinary people. I want to give you access and the know-how to everything you might be curious about. Drop a comment down below. Let's communicate. Ask me questions and I'll answer them in the next episode. Come on, let's do this. Community, make good decisions. The strike is almost over. Yes! Woo! Tell a friend that you love them. And remember, the world can be a rough place if you don't have love, peace, chicken, and grease. What? Mike? Oh. Oh. Dummy!
Thanks for watching and subscribing. You guys are the best. Check out this clip next, huh? Yeah. Or that one. I mean, check them both out while you're at it. Why not?